Just remember, everyone has a tribe, a place where they fit in. I guarantee you. Just go find them.
Hey Limitless Nation, today you're in for a real treat. Today you get to learn directly from Nathalie Herrey. Nathalie Herrey is a personal coach who has risen from the unimaginable hardships and has become a true modern day warrior. She has made it her life's passion to help others know that they can claim their own crown and conquer anything that life throws at them. Nathalie believes that life is meant to be lived with a purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Her knowledge of social media and passion for empowering women helps her clients to excel in their life and careers. Nathalie uses social media and career branding to maximize her clients' ability to find and live their true superpowers. That is what brings her into the arena today. Or as she would say, it is time to step into the arena of your life, and it is time to pick up your crown. This is it. In today's masterclass, you get to learn directly from the master herself, Nathalie Herrey. Let's dive into it.
Before you dive into today's masterclass session, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the button below. It allows you to receive notification bell every single time we provide you with the contents that allows you to live a limitless life. Now, if you want to go deeper on learning on how you can hunt your future, make sure you download our masterclass session at huntyourfuture.com. It allows you to know exactly what you need to do to hunt your future. Plus, we are also going to share with you tips and tricks on what you need to do to live a limitless life starting from today's forward. Now, let's dive into today's masterclass session.
Hey, Nathalie Herrey.
Hey, Donovan, how's it going?
I'm doing phenomenal, and I'm so happy to have you here with us today.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're most welcome. Now, here at the Limitless Nation, we have a tradition of starting each and every single interview with a quote or mantra. So do you have something that you say or think to yourself on a daily basis that helps motivate and encourage you to get to that next level?
Yeah, I'm a really visual person. So I always, I kind of look at myself as in the arena as a gladiator. And I actually have two that really stick out. One that's been with me for a long time is the one from the poem Invictus. And I actually have it on my phone. I have the last few lines on my open page for my phone. And it's, I am the master of my faith. I am the captain of my soul. And then, of course, the longer quote by Theodore Roosevelt, "The Man in the Arena." That one just gets me every time. And I love just reading that just as a mantra to myself when I have a little extra time or just need to remind me that it's who steps out in the arena and fights the battle of life that matters. It doesn't matter what all the critics have to say. It's the gain and the win that we can wait for when we don't give up.
Absolutely. Completely agree with that. Because when you're already in the arena, you're so much further ahead than those people who are just standing on the sideline watching you saying, oh, throw that punch. But they don't really know what it's like to go through all that training, all that hardship, and to actually be in the arena.
Right. Yep.
Now, in talking about the arena, what would you say is a challenge or hardship or difficulty or maybe a failure that you've had to get through to get to the limitless life that you're currently living?
Right. I have learned that I have a really strong mental ability. I will keep going and I will figure out a solution, even if the odds just seem impossible. And I've heard that through, from close ones, loved ones, and friends through my life, where they just, I can't believe, how you're doing this. Or I have one of my friends, like everything was falling apart in her life, and she had to go back with her newborn baby and live with her family. And she told me, when I think about my life and I think it's just too hard, I think about yours and it makes me feel better. So I just it's just a matter of keeping going. But what I learned was that at some point you have to have more than just resilience and mentality. And I realized that as I started coaching, I realized that I really needed to do more. I had kind of just stood up like in that arena and like moved on and, went to battle and all that stuff. And I didn't realize like that I was bleeding and here, and I had pus here, and, all these things. And so I had to take a break for a bit. And I actually got a coach that is amazing, that's helped me to just be able to rewrite my story, to take out the parts that are still kind of with me, that I didn't know how to figure out. She's helped me rewrite the story so I can truly be the hero of my life.
Oh, that's very encouraging. So correct me if I'm wrong. You had a difficulty or challenge with, I'm wanting to make sure that I get it right.
Yeah.
You could take a lot. You had a lot of mental strength, but after a certain point, your body or just ability to carry on forward wasn't necessarily at where it was supposed to be. So that's when you really had to take a step back, realize what was happening, and then you found help for yourself, and that has helped rejuvenate you. Is that about right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I had lived in survival mode for so long, but then I reached a point where my life wasn't like that anymore. I'd kind of escaped and left those really hard things that have been around me for a long time, and I was able to just be me and be fully me. And that's, and like I didn't know how to transition from being, always ready and, storming forward to kind of really go through the lessons and not, be driven by fear anymore or those things. So yes, exactly that.
All right. Now, as you were moving through this process of not being driven by fear anymore, what would you say is your big aha moment? At least that's what we call it here. That moment where something just, clicks into place and you all of a sudden realize or get to that next big level.
Yeah, I think when I realized the magic of looking at hard situations, and instead of seeing them as where I cowered or where I was on my knees, I got to see it through the perspective of the strengths that I portrayed. It was, in those situations, I loved, I was wise, I could understand people's actions. And so I was able to rewrite it that way. And that was a huge aha moment. It was like a magic being able to take these scenarios in my life that I didn't know really how to deal with or think about. I kind of like just put them here. But being able to go through them like that was a huge aha moment for me.
That's crazy. And that's a good thing, because realizing that you're safe now is a really good feeling.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's so nice. I have every day now where I can feel, life is good. I was always grateful, but now I can just feel that peace, and I love it. It's amazing.
Yes. Now, being at peace, what are you working on now?
Hope you enjoyed the masterclass session so far. Before we get into the second half of the session itself, it is very crucial for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I really don't want you to miss out on another masterclass where I'm going to share with you what other expert celebrities, Fortune 5000 companies do to become successful and live a limitless life. So make sure you subscribe right now, and every single time we upload a new video, you will receive a notification bell. This allows you to enjoy the masterclass on the regular basis. So make sure you subscribe right now. Well, as you are ready, let's get into the second half of the masterclass.
I am actually working on, I have, for those of you who know who Jay Shetty is, he's been in social media a lot. He has a ton of likes and followers and views. But I've been asked from time to time to be a part of his progress and the things that he's planning. And I have been so excited to do that. And I actually had an interview with one of his programs yesterday. And it was so exciting, and people were so grateful. And it was such a reward back to me to see that all my work and the life that I've lived, that it's paying off and being able to inspire other people. So I'm working with that, and I'm also doing my own coaching clients where I help particularly women empower them and help them get out and find their superpowers and, create their brands and be successful online and social media in particular.
That's amazing. And so you help these women step into their own warrior spirit and really go out and conquer the battlefield.
Yes. Like I said, pick up your crown. One of my friends back in Sweden, because that's where I'm from originally, she loves that so much. She's a single mom, and she always repeats that to herself every day. Pick up your crown. And she even got a tattoo on her back with it, just because she was so inspired. And so when I meet people, out, and I hear how grateful they are, how much the things I've shared meant, that is all the reward and feedback I could ever dream of. That makes me so grateful.
And that's where it should be. Now, where can the Limitless Nation viewers and listeners go to learn more about you, your coaching program, as well as just connect with you.
Right. So the great part about being Nathalie Herrey is that I'm so extremely unique. No, I'm just kidding. But you can find me. I'm the only one with my name on any social media. And I use my name, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. I'm not on Twitter, so you wouldn't find me there. And I also have a website in my name, NathalieHerrey.com. So you can find me there. I'm not hard to find anytime you want.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Now, since you've gone on to this journey where now you're helping women step into their own power and really face the arena down without fear and really find their mission in life and move forward, what would you say is something that was really holding you back from really becoming limitless when you started out to do this?
I think it was, and now I'm going to be repeating myself, but I kind of all came crashing in. I always knew I was someone. We all are someone. We should feel that every day that we are someone, that we have something to contribute. But it was when I started out that despite my experience, despite knowing that I could help and inspire, I still kind of hit a wall with how I would share my message and how to essentially continue with my story publicly. And so again, that's when I was so grateful that I was able to work through that part, because it was stopping me more than I thought. It was kind of like, I was going forward, but then it was kind of like it was just creating this hard bubble around me. And I just felt I just actually need help. I thought I was fine, but I actually need help. And I'm glad that I reached out at the right moment, and the universe kind of just responded, and this amazing person and coach fell into my lap, and here we are.
And that's a good way for things to happen.
Yes, we like when they happen. We don't want to stop. We want to go forward.
Exactly. Now, with you having now helped so many different people from all walks of life, what would you say is the number one piece of advice that you yourself have been given that you can now pass on to the Limitless Nation?
I want to tell you, I want you to know that everyone has a tribe. As we grow up, sometimes, we try to fit in. We hang around with big groups of people because we want to be a part of something. But I can tell you, and I can promise you, as we get older, we realize that we need to surround ourselves with people that give us good energy, where we can feel that we have an even and a good exchange together, and also that everyone has a tribe. I am very specific with who I follow and who are my kind of mentors and guides in my life, and you should do the same. See what your core values are and choose to follow people that embrace those, that amplify those, so that you can see where the best version of you can go by following the right tribe. So just remember, everyone has a tribe, a place where they fit in. I guarantee you. Just go find them.
I agree with that. So no matter where you are, first you got to realize yourself and start loving yourself. But you can generally find your group of people that you fit in with that will help elevate you to that next level.
Yeah, and who are just as weird or whimsical or geeky or out there or extroverted or introverted or wherever the place in life where you are, those people are there.
Completely agree with that. With you being at the level that you're at now, what is a habit or ritual that you've had to adopt into your life that helps you maintain the limitless life that you're living now?
Gratitude, without a doubt, gratitude. It was asked about habit, and that is a habit, to have gratitude, to see those extra things, see the pretty snow on the mountain, to, see the special thing that happens just as you drive by, or, be appreciative for what you have, or for how things responded when you needed it the most. Just little things, big things. Gratitude is full of magic. I say that all the time. It's the best magic of all. It changes our life.
And in speaking of gratitude, can you share in one sentence, what are you thankful for today?
I am thankful today that I can be here in this interview and talk to you as a Limitless Nation. I'm so grateful for that. That's the best part of my day right here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you, Donovan, so much.
You're most welcome. Now, let's say you come home one day and you walk into your house, into your library, and you realize that all of your books are gone. You start to freak out a little bit. And
Kindle has disappeared. Amazon is no longer. It's all gone. Yeah.
It's all gone. And you start to look at your phone and it doesn't get better. Your bank account is almost down to zero, but you have enough money in your bank account to get one book. It can be any book, but it can only be one book. Right. What is the first book you would go out and buy?
The Alchemist, definitely.
By Paulo Coelho.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one. I read it a few times and I reread it recently again. And there's just, I can't really explain it, but obviously people that read it can, they agree with me. But it's just that I think to just not give up, keep going forward. Sometimes the answers aren't exactly where we thought we'd find them. But if we just keep going, it's going to, the universe is going to open up itself. And yeah, I just love the story. And there, both sides covers the spiritual and the strength of the human spirit. So
Absolutely.
I love that book.
Also in that book, it's all about attracting what you're looking for in life, but you also have to go out there and work to make it happen. But when you take a step, the universe will work with you most times, and it'll come to pass, and it really helps make the world go round.
Yep, it does. And in the end, you might just find yourself back home, and maybe there's your answer.
You got it. If you had the ability to travel back through time and space and talk to the younger version of yourself, what advice would you give the younger version of yourself?
Start sooner. I always have a hard time with those questions because I always laugh at myself. Yeah.
Think about it this way.
Yeah.
Think about somebody who went through what you went through as a young age. And you had the opportunity to walk into the life of one girl who was going through exactly what you were going through. What advice would you wish you would have heard that you now can tell this young girl who just went through what you went through?
Just don't give up. Just keep going. It's going to get better, and you are so much stronger than you think you are. And you remember all the people along the way who has been there and who love you unconditionally.
And that is very, very powerful. You have to, as you said before, you have to have a tribe, or rather, there is always a tribe for you, but you have to go out and find it, and that tribe will help support you and protect you and guide you.
Right. I'm sorry, the sun is setting in Utah, as you can tell, so all of a sudden our light switched, but that's something to be grateful for too, instead of the clouds, right?
If you need to switch to a different seat, that's fine too.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. Let's see if or we can go like this. Let's cut this right. That's a good thing about being able to edit, huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Let's see here if it works. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have the door behind me. Oh my goodness. Wait. Let's see.
Switch the other way.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that too.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, wait, we can do that too. Hold on.
You got a very beautiful house.
Oh, no. I'm in the hotel lobby at Marriott. I'm smart. It's right by my house too. It's like perfect because I don't have to worry about my child. Oh my goodness. We're just gonna have to turn around. Wait, hold on. You're coming with me.
That's fine.
Yep, let's see what we got. No, see, that's what I mean. Oh, come on. I'm just trying to make let's see here. Okay, let me try over here. And the cord. Ah. Okay, let's see here. Oh, and you know what happened to Carlos, right?
No.
Facebook took his account away so he opened up 4 different ones and they shut all of them down.
Wow.
So he's not on Facebook except for his business account now.
Oh yeah. I did hear about that. He and I were talking. Yeah, and that's unfortunate that he got hacked.
Oh, he got hacked?
At least his personal one did.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
So
okay.
that was really not fun. But
no. So now we're on WhatsApp and he's only using his business account. So yeah.
Oh,
is that better?
Yes. At least he doesn't let it define him.
No, it will stop him. See, don't quit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. I guess I probably could have had you stay in the same spot. I'm sorry.
No.
Because
it's like over.
I'm running through the questions real quick in my head. All right. So, and forgive me, but I don't want to pry too much, but I am curious. You said that you had a lot of being a warrior on guard. That takes a lot of emotional strength to protect yourself.
Right.
So your challenge or difficulty, was that a lot more on the emotional side of trying to find your identity, or?
No, it was actual things. It was I grew up in a family that's very driven. My dad is an Olympic athlete, but that brought along some very hard complications for my family, which led also to it falling apart and breaking up in a very hard under very hard circumstances. And my uncles also became a really famous boy band in Europe in the 80s, and this was all around the same time. And I grew up with a really fantastic family as far as I knew, and then all of a sudden everything just fell apart. And my biggest desire from that point was to kind of recreate that again, and that also became my Achilles heel, because I was creating situations in my love life rather than letting it unfold naturally. And so I have 4 children, and my youngest ones, when they were 3 and 4, were kidnapped by their father to a different country. And it took 10 months before I could even get them back. And after that followed 10 years of just complete hardship and bullying, forgetting that for the children's sake, you should try and be friends, because they pay the price for sure. And other circumstances that led with that. And it ended up with me 2.5 years ago. I was in a domestic violence shelter with my 2 youngest children, and I had to get away. So that's why I ended up in the US permanently. For sure, it was good. It closed the door to Sweden, but I walked on a plane with them and essentially escaped after leaving that domestic violence shelter and coming here. So those are some of my struggles that I've been through. Because of my family life, I was always different. My friends, I couldn't talk about what was happening with my parents and other family circumstances in my life, because it was just too odd. Like, it doesn't happen in real life. So I just stopped talking about it, because it was too hard to believe, or it's too hard to have to believe, because this life should be good and it should be easy and people should be, loving and kind and all that stuff. And that's all we want, really. But yeah, it's those kind of hardships. I've been through just about everything except for, well, I guess I have Hashimoto's, and I also have a fused neck that I was born with, but I don't really consider that a big health issue. So that's something that I'm grateful for, that's kind of stayed pretty untouched in my life. But yeah, my life is a bit of a Hollywood story. So I always say I'm looking for my happy ending. And then somebody,
I don't know if I'd call it a Hollywood story. I do think I would call it a very genuine and real story that is personal to you.
Thank you.
I believe that I can understand that divorce is real when you have kids and you separate. That is very difficult. I've seen firsthand how devastating that is for kids. It didn't happen in my life, but in people who I know.
Right.
And it's difficult to go through that. And you also said that you traveled. Did you hop on the plane to the U.S. without knowing any English?
No, I did know English. I did know that. And then I had some of my family was living here too. So, but I had been in Sweden at that time, over 12 years. I had my life there. I had a house, everything. So essentially just walked away from everything with a couple of suitcases and my 2 youngest children to come back here.
That is almost the epitome of extreme courage, because I can't imagine walking away from everything. At that point, you basically got to make your decision of what really matters in your life.
Yeah. And that's going back to what we talked about before about finding and knowing your core values. My family has always been most important. I said, that's what I will always put my biggest energy into, and is for my children to have a good and fulfilling and happy life, and to know that they're loved always. And one of the magical things about, I know some people asked me growing up, especially with my father, because that was more public, what was going on with him. And they said, well, what's that like to have a father like that? And do you think he even realizes how he lives his life? And I said, it's even bad examples are great examples. Because everything in life, whether we can say that, oh, that's a great example, or that's a good example, or that's a crappy example, or I don't like that example, they always teach us something about what we want to do ourselves. And so just anything that happens in life, whatever people do to you, just look at it as if is how would I want to do it? Okay, well, good thing they did it, because I don't want to do it like that. Or I like that person did that, and so I want to do that too. So just any example is a great example.
I completely agree with that. And if you don't mind, it reminds me of a real short story. There was a father who was a drunk, and he had 2 sons. Fast forward 20 years, father's dead, both sons are raised. Reporter goes to the one son who is a drunk and asks him, why did you turn out to be a drunk? The son replies, well, look at my father. He was a drunk too. What did you expect? Then the reporter goes to the other son, and the other son is completely opposite, 180 degrees, owns a business, successful, has it all together. The reporter asked him, why aren't you like your father? And the son replied, well, my father was a drunk, and that's why. He decided, not to let that define him and change everything.
Exactly. He used that example to completely say, I want to go the other direction. So yeah, that's a great story. So exactly.
It goes to show you that 2 people can go through the same thing and have 2 very different viewpoints, which is why, as you've already talked about, gratitude is very important because it helps you see the positive side of everything.
Right. It definitely does.
Now, Nathalie, where can the Limitless Nation viewers and listeners go to learn more about you, your coaching services, just keep up to date on you, as well as contact you and say hi?
Yeah, I would love that. Anytime you have any questions, you're wondering what it is that I do, you want to learn more or just, lurk around like a lot of people do. Again, you can find me under Nathalie Herrey on any social media except for Twitter. So just take a peek at me there and Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also on my own website, natalieherrey.com. And I'll be happy to be there for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much for your time, Nathalie.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. I'm sure that the Limitless Nation has been inspired by your story. I know that I absolutely am blown away by the sheer courage that you displayed in getting through all of your challenges. Simply, I can't imagine it, but you were able to raise 4 kids, you were able to protect them, you were able to walk away from everything and go to the US. You went through all sorts of struggle, all sorts of, I'm going to say, drama, and just overall difficulty that most people don't even get to experience over their entire lifetime. And you went through all of that, and instead of becoming angry and bitter and resentful, you went and you got help, you found a coach, and now you're taking everything that you have learned and putting it towards a positive good. Instead of keeping it for yourself, you are now going out there and empowering and encouraging other women to really step into the battlefield and fight for themselves and really live their own dream life.
Yeah, definitely, because we all deserve it. And I kind of laugh. Sometimes, life just is crazy, or a lot of times life is crazy. And my hashtag in my own mind is life is never boring. That's my response to just about anything. It can be easy, it can be crazy, but I just say life is never boring. And my friends and family, they know now, so they just laugh. Nope, life is never boring.
And that is the best way to look at it. Life is never boring.
Nope. It makes it so much better and easier to go through too. Just know that there's a brighter side to everything.
Absolutely. Well, until next time, this is Donovan saying, stay limitless.
Well, that's a wrap. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the word subscribe. And if you want to go deeper on learning on what you need to do to hunt your future, make sure you watch the interview that I've done with Donovan on what you need to do to hunt your future on every aspect of your being. This allows you to live a limitless life on every aspect of your life, starting from today's forward. Plus, you are going to receive tips and tricks on what you need to do to tackle your day, tackle your challenges on every situation, every single time. So go ahead and download it right now. And until then, stay limitless forever.
Hey,
Kindle has disappeared. Amazon is no longer. It's all gone.